There's a lot of talk on the internet about the best pale ale you can drink, the go-to pale ale. Many people say that Deya's Steady Rolling Man is one of them. But there's also an argument whether this beer could be it. This is a Verdant and this is a Marylou Pale Ale. What's it like? And how does it stack up against all the other pale ales that are out there? Check out the review to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing this beer. This is a Marylou by Verdant, and it's look at that lovely, really bright artwork. And this is a rebrew of this obviously recipe because there was Marylou before, but the graphics were slightly different. So I know that this is basically another a rebrew of that beer. It has got in Laurel on the hot side, and then Citra, Nelson Sauvin, and Mosaic on the cold side. It's a pale ale and it comes in at 5.2%. As I said in the introduction, a lot of people out there saying that Steady Rolling Man is everyone's go-to pale ale by Deya. And it's a great beer. We've reviewed it on the channel last year. It's a really good pale ale. But I just wonder what other ones are out there. So I'm interested if anyone out there is saying, well, actually, this is the best pale ale you can buy. This is the one that, you know, that's a core pale ale that a brewery might do. Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested to know what pale ales are the best out there. The other question I want to ask everyone while we're on the subject, while we're reviewing this beer from this brewery, is the name of the brewery. Now, I always pronounce it Verdant. But a lot of people say it should be pronounced Verdant. Verdant, Verdant. Which is right? Is there no right answer? Maybe there's someone that's watching this channel that are from the West Country that can tell me the proper pronunciation. Because I'm sure if I'm pronouncing it wrong, that will really annoy a lot of people out there. So, is it Verdant or is it Verdant? I still think Verdant sounds better. Anyway, let's get this beer out of the can and into a glass and see what it's like. See if it's up there. In terms of the hop, Laurel is not a common hop. I think that's, you know, going to be more along the sort of the melon, the gooseberry, that sort of aromas and flavors. And then obviously Nelson Sauvin, the New Zealand hop, you know, we're seeing that more and more. Again, that's more on those sort of, I don't know, I just think of green and grassy and freshness, you know, less sort of tropical and more your melons, your gooseberries and that sort of thing. Although they do have the other characteristics of tropical fruits. So, beer in a glass looks pretty damn good for a pale ale. We've got One Finger White Head. It's a yellow, cloudy, hazy looking beer. Looks pretty good, really. Looks actually, there's a level of a bit more thicker than a lot of pale ales. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, I mean, it's similar to a lot of, certainly some recent ones I've had by Verdant, with that sort of very sort of grapey sort of aromas, melon, gooseberry. There's a bit of pineapple and a bit of grapefruit, a bit of citrus, lemon and limes. It smells really good, actually. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, I mean, that to me is a solid pale ale. Lovely soft mouthfeel. But it is also very similar to certain ones I've had before. 300 Laps Around the Garden was one that we had fairly recently, and that was a pale ale. That had Nelson Sauvin in. It didn't have Laurel in, but it had Nelson Sauvin in. And it's got those sort of flavours in there. So you're getting a very fresh lemon and lime zestiness. But then there's also a little bit of honeydew melon, a little bit of gooseberry, kiwi even, you know, all those sort of green fruits, basically. A little bit of mango in there, a little bit of pineapple. So there's a sort of bit of tropical sort of notes, but they're not the big flavour. For me, it's all about the grape and gooseberry, really, and melon, really. That's the flavours. It's really nice though. As I say, it's got a nice soft carbonation. It's got a nice sort of medium, fairly soft body. Yeah, it's that Verdant sort of grassiness that's really sort of coming through as well. It just tastes really fresh. It's funny to describe a beer as a little bit grassy, but that's the sort of things I'm getting. I'm not, there's a little bit of pininess in there as well. It's just that real fresh flavour, that real sort of, freshly cut grass, those summer, those sort of aromas and tastes sort of come into it. It sounds like I'm talking absolute rubbish, but that is what I get from this. I'm getting a lot of very fresh, early morning dew. All of those, they're the sort of things that I'm, that I imagine when I drink this beer. Less so about being on a tropical island somewhere, because I'm getting that citrus, I'm getting that pininess, and I'm getting that very sort of fresh green fruit crispiness, really. And it's really, really good. It's another stunning beer. What I should have done is I should have reviewed this next to Steady Rolling Man, because it's been a while since I tasted it. Obviously, that's got different hops in it, I think. And I think that's a little bit more pineapple-y, a bit more the tropical, if I can remember rightly. But it's probably about time we get it back out again. They do a new one, and a Steady Rolling Man with Strata instead of, I think it's probably Citra. It might be Citra Mosaic. Probably, I'm not quite sure. But that's a stunning beer, and that's a great pale ale. But let me know if there's a pale ale that I should be trying. Maybe there's one by Track. Maybe there's, Cloudwater. Do they do a pale ale? We've had quite a few different pale ales from Polly's. They've always been good. But there's nothing that really stands out as being a core pale ale from them. So let me know in the comments, and let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for a Verdant Marylou Pale Ale. I think it's a lovely looking can. If we were giving marks for cans, it'd get 10 out of 10. I think it's really bright and colourful, really sort of eye-catching. But let's start with the scores on Aroma. So the aromas are in there. You're getting that you're getting tropical notes, but there's no real, you're getting a bit of pineapple, a bit of mango, a little bit of grapefruit, but nothing really jumps out. But what you are getting a lot of white grape and that melon and a sort of gooseberry and kiwi and other green sort of fleshy fruits. It's got a very fresh aroma to it and similar to what the flavour's like. And you get a little bit of pininess in there as well. It's a really nice one. I'm giving it 13 for Aroma. Appearance, well, it's a lovely yellow, cloudy looking beer. You've got a nice lace in the glass. The head's a little bit disappointing. So, but for the colour alone, it's pretty good. So I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Flavour wise, well, like the aromas, it's very fresh tasting, and you're getting all those very light citrusy lemons and limes, and obviously those sort of green fruits, the gooseberries, the melon, the grape, and a lot of that comes from the Nelson Sauvin, I think. You get a little bit of tropical flavours in there as well, but there's no right big strong mango or big strong pineapple in there. Just a sort of a subtleness of that. Very little bitterness in there. Maybe just a subtleness of pininess, which sort of runs through it. But it just gives the beer a little bit of a sort of a backbone, really, if anything. It doesn't sort of start with one thing and end in another. It just it's sort of subtle all the way through it, really, and just creates that fresh taste, really. So I'm going to get 33 for flavour. Value for money, well, this is nearly £5 for a can. For a pale ale, I think that's a little bit expensive. So I'm giving it 7 out of 10 for value. And then my overall experience, well, I think it's a really lovely pale ale. I don't know if it was I think the 300 laps around the garden was better, though, to be honest, and that's a new brew. I'm sure I've also had another beer like Rustling Substance. I think I bought it, but I didn't review it, and I think that was really good. So Verdant make great pale ales, and in my opinion, some of their pale ales are some of the best out there. But I really want to know what you think about other pale ales. So overall experience, though, it's a nice, easy drinking, light, fresh, fruity. I'm giving it 14 for my overall experience. Yeah, it's got a nice soft mouthfeel as well. I don't know if I mentioned that. But, Verdant. I don't even know what I was saying now. Verdant. They really know how to get the water quality really good and get that nice softness. with low levels of a real soft carbonation. So we tighten all those scores up and we get, you know, a pretty damn solid 75. It's a recommended beer. It's a White Snake beer. It's a beer that you got to slide in slow and easy. Talking about White Snake, I don't know if you've checked out the White Snake ranking video that I did. So if you click it, it's either on that side or that side. I will put the link in there if you want to watch that White Snake ranking. I mean, White Snake get a lot of get coverage on this channel because we get a lot of beers between 70 and 80, which is the White Snake beers. So I hope you've enjoyed that. As I said, I want to know how to pronounce the brewery name. Is it Verdant or Verdant? And I also want to know, is this one of the best pale ales you can get? Give me some ideas of some other pale ales I should be checking out. So, hope you enjoyed that review, and until the next one, you know what we're going to do. Keep on rocking.